All right, there we go.
Woo.
All right, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing just fine. Thanks, Rachel.
Wonderful.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody for coming tonight. We're just having a little webinar on strategies to success, the things that we all use as network marketers to help us grow our businesses, our companies, ourselves. So if anybody would like to start off, I would say go right ahead.
Is that all right? Yeah, that's fine.
Hi, Billy.
Welcome, Billy.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, we see you.
How you doing, Billy?
Okay. Oh, I'm not doing too bad. How about y'all? I'm still trying to get y'all's picture to come up here on the screen. I
Oh,
need
okay.
your permission to order to start. I'm trying it
All right.
anyway.
Yeah,
Go ahead and get started, hon.
I can barely hear you, Deb.
Why don't you go ahead and get started?
Okay. Well, my number one strategy is that I use you guys. You know, you guys are my inspiration. I like to learn from you guys. That's where I start off. You know, my network marketing friends are the people who believe in me the most and who encourage me the most. So, you know, I try to basically duplicate myself by watching you guys. Because I love you all.
I'm working on it.
There you are. You're down there.
Oh, there.
Okay. So, but I do love, like Marco was saying earlier, inspirational quotes. And I'm going to ask if you're not speaking to go ahead and mute out so we don't have a lot of feedback going on.
Sounds better now.
A little bit better. There we go. That's awesome. Thank you so much. We want everybody who's here at the webinar to be able to hear and see what's going on and learn too. So, but like I was saying, Marco was talking about inspirational quotes, which are really good to use. So, Marco, why don't you emphasize on that?
It just makes people feel good, you know, whether they had a good day or a bad day, and it gives them like more of a reason. It gives them more of a reason to lift their spirit. You know, they can be more encouraged, get more support, and what's going on in their life. It reminds people great things that happen in their life. Everyone needs encouragement. They need something that they need to believe. So inspirational quotes are a great motivational way for people to lift up their spirit, and it just gives people a reason to believe in themselves. And I feel like, you know, we should always use inspirational quotes, and it's a great way for us to approach people, so they can see our personality, what we're all about, and what we really mean. You know, we're showing that we care for each other and for our success. It's a good way to engage with people.
Yeah, and sometimes when you share those, you know, it might be what somebody's feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So that's one reason why I like them, because it's like, seems like sometimes when I really need those inspirational quotes, it's like, seems like that's when they pop up.
Yeah, exactly, and we get a lot more engagement. People are more open to want to, like, you know, comment on our quote because it's something related to what's going on in their life. So it's just a great way for us to start a conversation with people. You know, they can find something that may have found them interest about what we shared with them, and it makes a difference when we share those moments with them.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Terry. Glad you joined. Are you there?
Yeah, I think we see him. We just don't can't hear him yet.
Hey, Rachel. Hey, guys. How are you? Good evening. I'm sorry. I got a lot of commotion in the back, so I'm cutting in and out. So forgive me.
Oh no, that's fine. I asked everybody to mute when they weren't speaking because we were getting a lot of feedback and background noise. So that's completely fine.
Okay, right on. So yeah, so I'm all ears. So yeah, just cue me in when you want me to chime in.
Oh yeah, well, it's just an open forum. So whenever you want to pop in, just pop in.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I'm just gonna listen and see where you guys are at, and I'll chime in when I chime in, I guess, right?
Yep. Right now we're talking about like inspirational quotes. What's one of your?
Yeah, like
I know you like those, Terry.
Best way that you can engage with people that that are new, and so it's like a lot of people online, they don't know who we are, so we have to figure out a way for us to show our personality and our mood, and the best way to do it is through inspirational quotes, because that's what they see in us when we see something positive about ourselves. Now they start thinking positive, about the person that they connected with when they friended them. So they have a reason to believe that maybe this person, they have good quality in them. So I think inspirational quote is a good way for us to engage with just about anybody online.
Sure, yeah. Inspirational, funny, humor goes a long way too. So yeah, I mean, 100% in agreement with you. Those are two good ways.
Yeah, I'm all about making yourself and others feel good. You guys know I'm always posting funny stuff on my page, so.
Yeah,
I love to laugh.
Yeah,
that works. I mean, yeah, it gets people engaging. People want to have something that's a little bit lighter, more pleasant, because either they're heading into a hard day, a job they don't like, or they just had a hard day. So a lot of times, even in Facebook, starting off with something inspiring, motivational, or funny, and ending the day on the same note, are two good ways of keeping the engagement.
Yeah, and they see us as a leader too, so they know that we have good qualities, and that we know how to treat people, and that we have respect for other people, and when we start to show other people credit on what they're done in the industry, it shows a lot of good quality in us.
Right, definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay,
and
you're also
not shoving your business down people's throats all day. You know what I mean? You got to throw some other fun stuff in there. You can't
if you just throw business out there, you're not going to get likes. You're not going to get comments because it's just boring. People want to see that you're a true person, that you really care about people, and you have responsibility to look after other people. Just give them a reason to why they need to go to your Facebook wall. So you can share them up, just like Fraser was saying about people might have had a bad day. They might have had a relationship problem. It could have been they could have lost their job, and they want to be reminded of something positive. That's why people, they go out and they either start drinking because they want to get that stress out of their system. So when they see people see an inspirational quote, something about love, peace, entertainment, something that just takes their mind off. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, and you love to post animals, Marco.
Yeah.
Cute little animals. Everybody loves little cute baby animals.
Yeah, people react to different things. When you throw food out there, it's like you don't know who's going to be the first one to be engage in that conversation. Some people may not have interest in just animals. They may have an interest in sweets. I put strawberries, something about strawberries, fudge, and I had some people that were on my Facebook page. They never even spoke to me before, and they engaged on that post. So that says a lot. Sometimes it's the quality of what you post out there that gets people to want to get to know you, and they're just wow, I didn't know this person Nutella, or something that related to The Walking Dead. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, so I see a lot. I post The Walking Dead. I don't get a lot of engagement on it, but if there's a big fan out there, obviously, of that TV series, they're going to message me, and then we can become, more close related to something.
It's all about connection.
Yeah, you got to find something in common. It's like a relationship. A lot of people they want to see what you have in common with them, and making them feel like you have something that they like too. So that's why I think the Facebook graph search was a great source for us to connect with people on Facebook. I don't know if they took it away or not. Some of it still works, but it's just you can pretty much engage with people in that topic.
Is that where you can go up and say people who like whatever, like people who like flowers?
I'm trying to see whether they got rid of it or not. The Facebook graph search is a great way for us to find people in our topic. It could have been sports, could have been fitness, it could have been some TV series. I sometimes just type The Walking Dead. I'm just curious to know how many fans of my friends actually are a fan of The Walking Dead, so I can actually start a conversation with them. So
okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people use that for them to start a conversation. So yeah, I'm going to look into things like that, because it's important. But definitely the first thing, what we do on Facebook is normally inspirational quote, or we post something about our lifestyle. I don't have any kids. I wouldn't post that. A lot of people just they love to see kids, family on their posts. So we always try to show people that we care for other people.
For sure. I know Deb had something planned that she wanted to share with us. Deb, are you still there?
Yeah, go ahead, Deborah.
Yeah, I'm still here, Rachel.
Okay, go ahead.
And when I'm posting on Facebook, yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys on that. Posting things that are that people can relate to, so that you get interaction with more people. I agree with that. But the things that I wanted to kind of cover tonight was about things that you can do to improve on how you do things, how you go about working your business, and
hey, Marco, mute out.
Yes. Yeah, it's muted. 1 second. Mute.
one of the things that I wanted to start with was having a defined plan of action. So many people will start out doing things without having it, without having an exact plan of action of what they're going to do. So it's important to sit down and write out a plan of what you're going to do. Like for me, I now have this document on my computer that I fill out every night before I go to bed, and I write down the goals, the things that I want to accomplish the next day. So then,
that's a great idea.
I open up that document and I look at the goals that I had planned for myself, and I try to accomplish those goals on that list throughout the day. Now, I may not accomplish all of those goals that day, but that's okay, because you can take those goals that you didn't accomplish today and add them to tomorrow's list and continue on that way. And then the other thing was sometimes people have a lack of ambition. It can be a lack of ambition because of maybe some pain that they're having in their life, some struggles or some stresses or whatever. And generally, about 70% of people experience pain in their life. And so if they can get to a place like, Marco was saying about posting inspirational quotes for people to look at, so maybe that'll help them ease some of that pain that they're going through. But people will avoid the pain rather than having to deal with it. They want to go for all the pleasure feelings. But sometimes you have to get to a point where you got to say, all right, I got to accept this pain, I got to work through this pain, and I got to move on, because in doing so, in dealing with that pain, it's going to make you a stronger person and better able to handle anything else that might come up in your life in the future.
You're so right.
And then the other thing is a lot of people have a lack of insufficient education. It's really important to educate yourself every single day, you know, either through videos, motivational videos, inspirational videos, through reading books, or getting with a mentor, somebody who's going to educate you on the proper ways to do things. And it's important to have a mentor, you know, somebody that you can learn from, because, you know, when we're inexperienced, we can go through and try to do things on our own and make all kinds of mistakes. So it's important to have a mentor that's going to teach you, who's already made all those mistakes, and they can save you a whole lot of time by learning from their mistakes so that you don't waste a lot of time, you know, making them yourself. You understand what I'm saying about that? Let the
Yeah.
mentor tell you the mistakes that he made or she made, and go, you know, go by that and learn from how they managed to get past those mistakes, so that you don't continue making them.
Yeah. That's totally. I love that.
Right? And then it's really important to be self-disciplined. You have to be able to control things like that negative self-talk that you get, you know, that comes into your head all the time. Uh, Things like, you know, oh, I can't do this, or I don't have the ability to do this, or you'll never be successful at this. You got to learn how to get control over those negative self-talk things that go on in your head. And also, you can you need to get control of your destiny. I mean, you're in control of it. Whatever you decide to do, that's what's going to take you to whatever destiny that you're looking to get to. So that's really important. And then also, you have to have a great desire to succeed. Your heart has to be really into it. You have to be consistent and uh, really have a lot of you know, passion and enthusiasm for what you're doing. And then also, you need to get past that uh, unfavorable environment. Like if you got an environment that's hectic and stressful around you, uh, you need to try to find ways to eliminate that. If you have unfavorable people in your life that are not encouraging you or uplifting you or you know, supporting you, then you need to try to get those people removed from your life, because in the long run, they're not going to be the ones that are going to help you. They're just going to continue to hold you back.
Totally.
And then that mindset too, you know, about a lot of people will use where they've been in their past. Oh, I've been this or I've been that, and they stay in that sorry state their whole life, and they can't find ways to get past that. So don't always hold on to your past. Your past is your past, and that's why it's called the past. It's not your you know, it's not your future. You can change your past by doing more positive, uplifting things. And you know, I find too that if you are spending time focusing on other people and helping them, and stop worrying about, you know, things that have happened to you in the past, that you're going to be a lot more successful in everything that you do.
Totally agree.
hmm And look for favorable processes. I mean, things that you know are going to work for you. Like, you know, I was saying earlier about writing down your goals every day. Make sure you have clear-cut visions. You know, be passionate, be enthusiastic, be excited. You know, to really get in there every day and help people. And also, you should always have access to a good mentor on a daily basis, 24/7. If you're having a struggle or an issue, you need to have somebody that you can go to at any time and talk to them, and they need to be somebody that can help you get past any of those struggles that you have. You don't want somebody who's going to go, oh, your moment is coming right around the corner kind of thing, you know. You want somebody that's going to give you some real meat and potatoes and tell you what you need to do to get past whatever you're struggling with. And that needs to be available to you at all times. So you need to find yourself a really good mentor, somebody that you can. And also, if you're struggling, you know, if you're procrastinating on things and you're finding yourself not following through, you start something but you don't finish it or whatever, you need to get yourself somebody like a call buddy and say, hey, I'm having trouble getting started with this. Can you help me? Can you push me along? So find yourself a good call buddy. Somebody you can call up and say, hey, Rachel, I'm having a hard time. I'm struggling with this. Can you help me get past this? Somebody you can call.
Those are great ideas, Deb. You rock.
And you need to be persistent about everything you do. Every day, be persistent. Okay, today I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this done. Be persistent. Don't give up. Just keep trying and keep trying. And eliminate any negative personality you have. You know, a lot of people will get into, they complain about everything. Oh, this doesn't work, or that's not working, or I can't get this program to work, or these people aren't signing up. I mean, they're always complaining, and that's a negative attitude, and you need to change that attitude to a positive, you know, saying, I can make this work, I can get this to work, and if I don't have the ability to make that work, then I know somebody I can go to that can help me and teach me how to make it work, how to get people to sign up with you in your business, or how to work a program, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this business, in internet marketing, you know, a lot of people will say that it's a high-risk business. Well, it's probably one of the lowest risk businesses that you'll ever get into, because if you think about brick and mortar businesses, you're going to pay a lot of money to get started in those businesses. And in internet marketing, a lot of the businesses are very low cost to get into, a very low fee, and a very low monthly fee to maintain that business. And the risk is not as high as if you had, say, like a Walmart or a McDonald's or a Costco or a Target. The risk in that business not working is greater because it's a greater loss. You got loss of employees, you got loss of inventory, you know, and you still got all that overhead and stuff to pay. Even if the business fails, you still got to pay for that.
Very true.
So internet marketing, you know, is a very low risk business, and I would encourage anybody who's looking to get into a business to do an internet marketing business, because I mean, you can come into it with a very low cost, and you can end up making thousands and thousands of dollars.
Very true. You're so smart, Deb. I love you.
And then always make sure, and you don't have to stay with the same people like on your team or the same people in your business. You can go outside the business to other people who are successful and access them and pick their brains and mastermind with them, you know, and get ideas. So always be looking for other successful people who have done well in the business. You know, be out there searching for them and pick their brains, because, you know, they may come up with something that maybe somebody within your own group may not have thought of, you know. So always leave your horizons open to exploring other avenues of learning and empowering your brain.
Definitely.
And then the last thing, which is really, really important, and I've seen this so much in so many different businesses with people that are involved in it, is your honesty. have high integrity. Always be honest. Be on the up and up. Don't lie to people. Don't hype things up. Be straightforward with them. Tell them the truth. And also never guess. What I mean by that is don't guess at your business. Don't guess at your product. Make sure you know your business. Make sure you know your product. Don't guess at it because people are going to be able to figure that out as they're talking to you on whether or not you're knowledgeable on your business or if you're knowledgeable on your product. So make sure you learn everything you need to learn from the business to the products to the comp plan. Know everything. Study, study, study. No guessing. And that's it. I'm done.
Right. Thank you, Deborah. That was really good.
Yeah, she covered a lot. Yeah, based on what she said in the beginning, definitely know your course of action. People have to be organized when they get. This is a business, obviously, so people they treat it as their customers, their friends, their business partners. So it's important that we get organized when we get in touch with people. We should use Google Doc or take Notepad and keep track of the people that we talk to every day, so we can find out what it is that they're looking for. Do they need help in marketing? Are they just somebody new to the industry that you can introduce them to somebody that you can help them with? If they're not something that you can help them with, obviously you can always get in touch with somebody that had success. It's always good to ask questions so people can help you out with that. When people send you a friend request on Facebook, you never know, what they know, and you don't know. So always, it's good to find out, what people are doing out there in their profession, so we can learn from each other. Like this basically Debbie said is, ask questions, find someone that is successful, get a mentor, somebody that you can trust, and keep learning. Never stick to one thing. Always take notes, study, practice makes perfect. All the leaders didn't just come from this industry and learn everything at once. It took a lot of time. They read a lot of books. They took a lot of trainings, and then they learned from just basically like how we're doing right now. It's face to face. It's getting to know people every day and feeling comfortable out there. So it is important to show people that we care and that we're honest, and that it's in marketing or anything that we do in life, you got to take risk in order to get to the next level. You can't be fearful. You are going to have ups and downs in life, but there's always going to be something that you have to bypass your fear, and that's by doing it. Just like Debbie said, keep track of your goals, know what you want in life, and write it down. If there's something that you want, make sure that you take notes. Find out what you're doing during the day. I'm taking notes all the time now, whether it's a company that I'm not with, and I'm just curious to know what people want out there, and the more I can find out what people are looking for, the more I can help them. We're not just selling people, we're just giving them value, information that's going to help them in the near future. And it's always important to keep that rapport with people, no matter whether they're in our business or not, because eventually they're going to connect with us in the near future. So it's important that we build those relationships with people, we engage with them. Every time somebody comments on my page, I comment back, and it's just important for us to keep doing those little things. Over time, people will see us more for who we are, and they're going to be comfortable with us. So that's what basically what I wanted to say with based on Debbie. But organization is really important. Get organized. A lot of people are just not organized. When we go to school, we have a notebook, we take notes, we have to know our time to take a break. For me, sometimes it's hard because you get so much caught up in the moment, and then you forgot to take a break. So it's important, we rest and we do spend time with our family because that is also part of our life, our friends. It's important to take a break because online can make us exhausted. We love it so much, but in this industry, we definitely just want to spend time and have fun. Just keep reminding ourselves that don't take anything serious. If things are not going as planned, we can always basically work that out. There's many ways that we can basically always ask questions of people and find out what they're doing differently from us. So.
Yeah, like Deb said, connect with people who are not only in your company, because sometimes those other people can help you get out of the rut or that you're in, where sometimes you're just stuck and you're like, I don't know what else to do, know. So just like everyone here, we're all are part of different companies. We're not all in the same company, and that's why I invited all of you guys, because you're all here when you have different ideas, and you help me.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
Preparation is really important. What to say when people are pitching us, in their business. It's important for us to have something where we can connect with them in a positive way, that we're not taking away from what they're doing. We're just, letting them know that, in the near future, maybe, we'll get to know each other more and we'll do something together, So you're not just trying to throw them off saying no. I avoid that word no as much as possible because it's a negative feedback, and try to be as much positive as possible.
I always say thank you for the information, because in a month, 2 months, hey, you never know. I'm like, hey, let me go look at that again.
There are a lot of leaders that have connected with with businesses that are connected with us, and they may have joined with us in the near future if we built that relationship with them more. Because some people just don't like to be approached, with that pitch. They don't care about, lock-in position or knowing that, this is the best comp plan on the planet. It really comes down to, how well you get along with each other. Because in business, it really comes down to, how you connect and you can count on each other.
For sure. One thing I wanted to touch on, because I know me and Shondell have talked about this, is dream boards. And
dream boards?
Yeah, like a vision board.
Oh, okay.
Putting your goals or your dreams, right there in front of your face every day. You have it there to look at, Yeah. And so I don't know if Shondell would like to share about his dream board or not.
Yeah, sure. Like couple of years ago, I did the dream boards, and that was my first time I was with the first company, right? And so I went down to Ralph's to buy a post board, and I went to this magazine called Distinctive Homes California, and I saw these dream homes in the Caribbean islands and stuff like that. So what I did, I just cut them pictures and I look at them every night. So I did 3 of them. First one was just places down there before. Second one was just straight up mansion homes and stuff like that. But the third one was the masterpiece and it was laminated. And I still had that in my picture on my phone to this day. And I showed this to Rachel, and she thought this was like very beautiful. And I told her, it's all about outside your box. Just imagine yourself living in that house. And I still imagine to this day that I'm in that house. Very comfortable lifestyle. You talk about pillow, mansion, steam room, everything. But I noticed that most people don't do that these days. If anyone could just try that one time, even it says that on The Secret. Like one dude on The Secret on documentary said he imagined himself living in a dream house that he wanted to get for 5 years until one day he was getting ready to move out, right? And his son kicked the box, and he picked it up in the house that he was living in now. That was in his dream board, and that blew him away because of using the law of attraction. So, they all say thoughts do become things. But and I also want to mention this too as well when it comes to what Deborah and Marco was saying. I mean, what happens in your past does not dictate your future, and sometimes you can read some personal books, that could also motivate you as well because you're feeding off energy from it. Like this one book's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Now, when I read that book, I was feeling a lot of energy from it. But it was like a slap in the face, like, psh, psh, you know what I mean? On every page, because it makes you a better person, a better husband, a better mother, a better wife. I mean, it makes you a better leader in this type of industry as well. It could be that one nugget that you need to hear, not what you want to hear, what you need to hear. And in personal development, reading books is that can also help as well too. And talking about Marco, don't be afraid of failure. See, it's like John C. Maxwell. You can't be afraid to fail because if you haven't failed, you haven't lived. The more you fail, the more you're getting better. It's like playing a video game. Every time you lose, you get right back up, and you do it over and over again, and that's why you succeed. It, you know, and I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes a point right there. And also, I want to say this too. It's like doing the like you know how Daryl was talking about by taking little steps at a time. It's called the compound effect. Easy to do and easy not to do. Now there's a graph that's talking about like the ones who do things uncomfortable become successful, but the ones who do things comfortable will not be successful in life. So that's what's called the compound effect. Easy to do, easy not to do. So I encourage that as well.
So you have to
I'm gonna
get
leave it like that.
uncomfortable.
Hope that helps there.
You have to get uncomfortable.
Say it again, Rachel.
I said you have to get uncomfortable to be
Yes.
comfortable.
Well, what I'm saying is, Rachel, is that like, in order to be successful, you gotta do things outside your comfort zone. But the ones who do things comfortable, they never gonna be successful. Like I have friends right now in LA in the hood. They so comfortable just sitting in the house doing nothing, playing a Xbox game and smoking weed and stuff. That's uncomfortable. They'll never be successful. But while I'm out here just sacrificing, trying to invest in myself so I can do things outside my comfort zone because I know it's gonna pay out in the long run. Because one way or another, I gotta pay the price. There's no ifs or buts about that. Everybody gotta pay the price, and we're paying the price right now as we speak right now. You know, that's what I mean by that. That's what's called the compound effect.
That's new. I have not heard of that, but I like the word, you know, the way how you envision using, you know, the dream, as people can definitely lift their spirit up and know that, you know, they have more than life to go on. It just reminds them every day, you know, that they have to try to reach their goal. So yeah, I'll definitely consider that dream, and like you said about like, you know, having a dream house or a dream vacation. That's a good strategy.
Right. Or a dream car, a luxury car like a Lexus or a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like you have a you have like some type of Lamborghini on your computer, Marco. That's inspiration right there. You always look at that every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect example.
Yeah. My inspiration would be like, you know, taking care of my parents when they, you know, get older. So I know that, you know, they don't have to go to the aches and pains that like everybody else. So yeah, definitely having, you know, financial security, you know, having, you know, your dream house, your dream car, things that, you know, you definitely want to see yourself, you know, reaching those goals. Like I made it. It's just like when you achieve something, it's a great feeling. Just like how like I graduated college, and sometimes you just have to believe in everything that you do, because some people just like they doubt you, and then like you know you can do it. You just have to be reminded that you can do it. You know? And things like that can definitely
because
get you in the right direction.
and then plus you want to leave a legacy for your family too as well, because your family will be forever be grateful. Like for example, like Budweiser, the Bush family, they pass it to like generations, man, generations. That's incredible. Will be a life be like if we do this right now and you leave a generation to your family, your kids, and they can just keep maintaining it for from when you go into heaven, whatever. You know what I mean? Just saying though. You know that would create a masterpiece. You know.
Yes. Yeah, I truly believe that. Yeah.
Definitely.
I like your approach. I'll definitely definitely keep that in mind for sure.
Right. I hope that helps, Rachel.
Oh, thank you, Shondell. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a really
I
good
want to
tip.
say hi to Rose. It looks like Rose joined us.
Yeah, like basically like what Debbie's saying, have the right attitude, and so it shows people that you know how to handle things with care. Those people that don't have the right attitude, correct them, and show them that there's a way that they can approach people differently. And there's a lot of people that doubt themselves. They get very discouraged. It's important that they control that mindset. So that's another thing to keep in mind for sure. A lot of people just don't know to handle things because they want things to go their way, but sometimes it doesn't. They just have to know how to handle it after.
Yeah. So I was going to ask Billy, are you still there? I was going to ask Billy if he had anything to share with us.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, Billy, did you have anything that you would like to share on, like, anything that you do for a strategy to keep yourself positive or that helps you become more successful?
Well, one thing first of all, I got a nutcase, and I like to use that to keep myself going, joking around the house, cutting up, things of that nature. And a lot of times I use those to keep me going, to learn from. I had stuff that I was doing before I ever heard of IC, and I started watching those, and it taught me how to set up a lot of stuff. So I generally do my best to keep myself motivated with a lot of things, watching stuff on TV, watching things on Facebook. I see a lot of inspirational stuff on Facebook, and a lot of it just keeps me going. It just keeps letting me know that never give up. It may take time, but nothing is impossible, and that's the way I look at it. It just keeps me going. And if I didn't make it today, then I'll make it tomorrow. If I don't make it tomorrow, then I'll make it the next day. And that's what I use to go by, and I keep in my head all the time. And it just helps me out a lot, and I love it.
That's great. I'm glad that keeps you going.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, for sure.
Yeah.
I like reading your little nuggets every now and then.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, I put like every now and then, and sometimes I put little, one-liners or maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs or stuff of that nature. Not about the only people that ever comment on it or like on it most of the time is people with Team Vision. Everybody else, except for a few of Jackie's family members, except for a few of them, everybody else just ignores it.
Yeah. Well,
nobody bothers with it.
Yeah, that's okay though. It'll get better. You just because other people aren't seeing it doesn't mean that it's not out there. And just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you like. And the more friends you add, the more engagement you're gonna get. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and I find sometimes.
Yeah, I've noticed a few.
I know sometimes some of the things that I post on Facebook, it'll be days later before somebody will respond to it. Because sometimes that's just the way Facebook works sometimes with the algorithm. People might not see your stuff right away, but they'll see it hours later, maybe a couple of
on
days
Facebook.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'll see things on Facebook that I'm thinking, and yet it's saying it's 2 and 3 times. I've noticed it.
Yeah, and that's how Facebook is kind of funny. Sometimes I won't see people's posts that it's like 2 or 3 days ago. So you just gotta try to be stay at it, and eventually people will start engaging more, and And one of these days, you're just gonna be like, wow, why is everybody commenting on my post?
Yeah. I see a lot of people just like they post in these groups and they don't get any feedback at all from some of the people. When I go there and I click like on them, they react as to like thinking I'm interested in what they got going on, but they just feel good knowing that they're reminded that something positive happened. So
Yeah.
it feels good when you click like on somebody's post and you comment on it, just to show that you care and that you gave them some love during the day. And nobody ever thought about them, but they being thought about.
Definitely. So Terry,
Hey.
you gotta, you're very successful. You're on fire right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I keep moving around and I'm getting cut off on you guys. But I just wanted to say, great webinar. A lot of uh, good information you guys are sharing. I enjoyed it. What I'm catching. um, but yeah, it's just about staying consistent and applying. Like my thing is that now light is knowledge, and power is
I'm not
applying
muted.
that knowledge.
Hold
So
on, Terry, just a second. I'm gonna ask everybody to mute out.
yeah, I'm going to say what I'm not. I won't be too long-winded because I keep getting cut out here, so I'll say something real fast and I'll shut up. but but like I said, I think that knowledge is light and applied knowledge is power. So when always be developing, always growing, but at the same time, don't get caught up in just the emotional aspect of what you're learning all the time completely, and start and always apply what you learn what you're learning. And because to be honest with you, that experience is going to be what's going to be the ultimate teacher. So as you're learning, and developing throughout the day, in your leisure time, turn off the TV, forget the entertainment. I've gotten to a point where I absolutely watch no television. I don't even watch the news if I can help it. Even sometimes I might say, okay, let me see what's going on, but I try not to even let that in my mind, because because it really it's a distraction. And we have a society filled with distractions. Like Shandell said, people are in comfort zones, and we have to get uncomfortable to be comfortable. That's the truth. You know, um, there's there's always some pain in order to gain, and you have to be willing to go through that fight, and break through that wall, and just make it happen. You have to control your destiny. You have to go for it. So you know that's the reason why companies like Nike is so successful. I didn't post it on my wall earlier today. I think about a Ralph um, Emerson quote, and about doing. You have to do it, and that's the reason why companies like Nike are so successful. What's their slogan? Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. I mean, it's just that simple. And of course, always be developing at the same time. So
Yeah, you
that's
want to learn
really
and grow.
yeah, that's really and what it's about is staying persistent, staying consistent. You know, that's one of the hardest things to do is staying consistent. We like to try something else because something doesn't seem to work as fast as we want to, not realizing that there's little steps. There are little things that are taking place during that process that's going to lead to that quantum leap, and sometimes we get off track on that and we think things are not working at the moment. Oh well, people are not liking my posts and stuff. Well, you're building a reputation. Probably people are starting to like you, that type of thing. So acknowledge that, and stay consistent. Now if it's just something that doesn't work, then you have to, you're going to have to change your tactics, but always stay consistent, stay persistent, and go for it.
Definitely. You're so good, Terry.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Hey, Rachel.
It's just trial and effort for me for the last few years, and that's about it. So I just keep pushing forward, keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah. What's up, Shundo?
I mean, I agree with Terry was saying. I totally agree, and also that's like saying from Jim Rohn says, you can't grow without a challenge, and that is a tough philosophy to deal with, and that's like saying it's like the wish for less challenges, wish for more skill, and that is very true. That's very true, man. I mean, it's hard to deal with that, especially in that type of philosophy, man. The wish for less challenges, the wish for more skill. The wish things were easier, we wish you were better. And those are the toughest
That's
three
it right there.
things
Yeah.
that we have to deal with in life. And you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then also it's like, and also it's like on the video, like sometimes you guys can watch like Les Brown or Art Williams. Winners do it and they do it till the wheels fall off, and they do it till wheels fall off. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They do it and do it and do it till the wheels fall off. No matter what the situation is, no matter what the circumstance is, you still keep doing it because if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, can nothing stop you. Just wanted to add that to that point. What Terry was talking about.
Awesome. Very true. Thank you. Okay. Well, would
Yeah,
anybody?
I'm sorry, I had to mute out while he was talking because I was causing a little bit of an echo. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I mean, but yeah, it's I think that everybody's right on the money. I think that and it's if you take in what you're learning from all of these great mentors that are out there, don't sit on it. Because sometimes we can that could be a comfort zone in of itself. Oh wow, I'm learning all of this great stuff. I get approached by so many people online who talk about programs where I'm learning all of this great stuff, and they're constantly talking to they'll message me the next day. Hey, I'm learning all of this great stuff in a company that they're paying money for. Well, I go to Google and I can Google it for free. I can go to this shop and get a book for 55 cents that does the same thing. And the thing is that that's what learning is all about. When you're hungry for knowledge, you'll find it, you'll learn it, but apply it. Don't get caught up in the comfort zone of just the whole emotional the whole emotional trap of, oh, look at all this stuff I'm learning, and you never take time to apply it. It's kind of like what good is a mentor or teacher if the lessons never apply. If the engineer says, oh, I'm learning all this stuff, but he never builds anything, then none of us ever gain anything. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, a lot of the mentors, they tend to tell you to teach you everything. They give you bits and pieces, so it's up to you to practice it and always kind of be able to apply what you learn.
agreed. Yes.
There's a lot of information on YouTube that we can basically find out there, and all these other people, like, they're charging us for like little things. We can get that information ourselves too. So yeah, we don't believe everything what everybody says, but we'll take what we learn from them, and then we'll always get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Well, also, like I said, just the art of applying. It's like, if you learn a strategy, put it to work. Just saying, the company that a couple of us are involved in, we get new products all the time. Well, those that go ahead and say, Deborah's real good at it, I'm gonna go in and learn this and figure it out, and then next thing you know what, she has it down, and everyone else is still, hey, how does this product work? Well, just go play with it. Deborah will do it in a heartbeat and play with it and get it down.
Yeah.
And you don't have to ask her twice about it. And she'll know it before some of the leaders do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. I mean,
And then
we have to become a
and
leader
then she's
instead of
telling you, hey,
just
have you,
following.
so, and the thing is that people can tell you, like Marco said, people can tell you all kinds of things. But I think that one of the best second opinions is your experience, and when you apply it and see if it actually works or not.
Yeah, eventually, the person that learns, the fastest, and they apply what they learn, they're going to be able to teach other people, what they didn't know, and
Yes.
they're going to want to also, apply what you teach after. So yeah, it does go back and forth, though. Most definitely. A lot of people like to do a lot of reviews on like different products out there, and even though they're trying to sell you it, but they basically know the results of the product before they introduce it. So it's important that we also do our research all the time when we get to know people, because people they like to believe everything what they tell you, and so it's important that we don't get gullible. We definitely got to be smart when we get to know people, and knowing that they're going to count on us. Having like a buddy system, like someone that you can call and count on, is important. Like Debbie mentioned, so that's something that we also need to keep in mind. How we can get in touch with people, because a lot of people just are very busy during the day. I'm busy too, but I'm always open to pick up the phone. So it's important to have somebody that we can always count on for support, and so that's something I'll look
I know
into in the
with
near
you
future.
guys, each of you, I can message you or something at almost any time of day or night, and I know somebody's going to respond to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you know the truth of somebody. How much time they actually care about. Spending time with you. Money is, or of course, is time, and but the people that really want to get to know you as a friend they'll be there. To pick up the phone and tell you, what you need to do and to solve your issue.
Hmm. Or get your ass in gear and help you get motivated.
Yeah, take action. Exactly. A lot of people like to watch videos, but they don't take action right away because they need someone to tell them to take action. So it takes that extra boost of confidence. Sometimes you have to walk them through it in order for them to see if it works. That's why people, when they post results out there, I'm not sure what triggers people, to be attracted by these figures out there. But people like, when they post checks, and I don't really believe all that. That's just like stuff to get people distracted, so they can, show them that, this is working. But eventually, do your research before you decide to get involved. It doesn't matter, how much the person made. It's all about, what they're basically getting into, because eventually if you're going to promote it, always think about the other people that you're getting involved too. So
I agree with that. The only thing is that just like the checks, what I don't agree is the wires of money, because what you have to do is you have to literally go in. That means you just did one of the worst mistakes already. You went to your bank account and you actually withdrew all of this money so you could show it on camera. you know. Um, now, granted, some of the checks and stuff is a little social proof, but they can get a little bit carried away, where it can be a little bit of a sign of hype, but people do want to see that is are people getting paid? Is the thing working? So I guess it's a little bit of a toss up and a slippery slope there. Um, I tend to agree with the checks. I'm real hesitant on ever showing my checks a lot of times. I even have people say, "Hey, you know what? Constantly showing checks is a little bit discouraging for us who are making money." So I stopped for a long time, and every now and then I might do it, for a little social proof to show, hey, yeah, it works. But I do agree that it could I don't know, you could go a little far there, a little pretty easy.
Yeah,
Um,
you don't have to shove every check down somebody's throat.
right,
yeah,
exactly.
it's really easy for someone to get out of control when they're making a lot of money, and they
That's
don't
true.
get consistent no more. Like they get consistent, and then they're like they lose their way.
Yeah, that's very true. And you know what? And I think that we should. I mean, if your company has plenty of value, then share it.
Yeah.
Put that in the forefront because if you have value, if you have something that's of benefit to someone else, then you can go off of that, and really that should be sufficient. And then along, of course, along with your attitude, your approach, and the relationship you're developing with them, because of course people join people.
Yeah, everything revolves money, what we do in direct sales, but yeah, it's come down to like, what the purpose of why we got involved in it, how did it help us, how we can help them. That's why a lot of people, I like when they do these like product reviews, so I know that I can count on them for their social proof showing that, this is exactly what they did and this
Right.
is the result they got. Obviously, we want to know that, that it's paying, but that's not the whole purpose. It's for us to know whether, the product is working and how people view it. Do they see something that, it's going to help them in the near future? So that's why people go to YouTube all the time. I don't just go and click on a link. People that I don't know, I do my research. I want to know whether this person is telling the truth or not. And also, I don't believe in the hype. I mean, all that stuff saying that you made money. That's going to happen in any program that you get out there. It's no different than an affiliate or an MLM type.
I agree 100%. And you know what? And that's also, I think that also brings up the point: who are you trying to attract, and who are you trying to work with? Because there are people who have a clear vision, and as soon as they see something, hey, you know what? I see the benefit of this. I see how I can sell it, make money or profit from it. I see how I can help other people from it, and they can move on that. And then you have those who say, well, who are not visionary, or have no clear goals, or what have you, and they say, well, show me the money first. I don't want to call them. I use it a lot, but I say that a lot of times they're lotto ticket scratchers. That people who have to see big wads of money before they take action, and usually those are the same people. As soon as a hiccup happens, they bail out.
Yeah, a lot of jumpers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I study to see why they're jumping and how they can avoid doing what they do, because it's a bad habit when people are getting into it. I spoke to Shondell about that. I came from IC, and I see from how they promote IC, they do that with other companies because they were taught to do it that way. It's important for them to learn different strategies, knowing that they know how to approach people the proper way, and that they're showing value with the product, and they're not just demonstrating the result of how much money they're making, because any company can basically do that with. They can do that with coffee. They can do that with travel. It doesn't matter. That's what benefits people are going to get. What you're basically demonstrating them.
Yeah, I mean, because the silliest things out there make money, so that's
Yeah.
very true.
But
Yeah.
I would have to say that the whole breakdown is it's all about helping people to better their lives.
And
Yeah.
also I want to add to it too. I mean, and I talked about this with Rachel last night. Now there's like four colors of where the person's mindset is. Like for like red color, they're all about the money. They don't care about facts. They don't care about the people. They don't care about being fun. They're just all about the money. Or blue is all about facts. The only way they gonna jump on the company is they gotta know the facts. Everything from A, B, and C. They'll ask questions. Is it real legit? How long this company been around? Is there a record? How many people became millionaires? Show me the numbers. You know what I mean? Or yellow, they just like to enjoy life and and have some fun. And green, they just like to help people. Now it's ways how to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? Like like my good business partner, the Dysons, they all about facts. Period. They all about facts. and number two, they like to help people, and number three, they enjoy life, and then also last at least they are all about the money. So it depends on the individuals where their mindset is at. Are they all about money? They don't look for money. They don't care what the product is. You know what I mean? And that's another key to that point too.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm more
Yep.
yellow.
Just want.
Yeah, that's why there's a difference between affiliate marketing and MLM. People they either like to build with people or just like to sell the product and make a quick commission. That's why people get into like quick bank. They just like make a quick profit. They don't want anything to do with the relationship.
Well, you're totally right about that. The problem is that you have a lot. Well, the thing is, know what you're getting involved in and be on board with it. If you're getting involved in the business that requires you to deal with people and work with people, then work with people and learn how to develop those relationships. Learn how to develop your own or have your own personal development so you can better those relationships or improve upon those relationships. And if you don't like doing that, then go to something like affiliate marketing or something else that doesn't require you to deal with people.
Yeah, and basically also when people say like I don't like recruiting, does that mean like they just can't stand people? Rejections. What is it behind it? Like they enjoy talking to people. How is it that they don't like recruiting? It's like a bad habit that they don't seem to know how to interact with people correctly, or
I think that's what it is. People don't like recruiting because they don't know how to interact with people correctly. So they find recruiting to be a challenge because as soon as you start recruiting, it's when I started off in insurance, I was approaching family, friends, bugging them.
Yeah, they hang up the phone on us.
Yeah, hanging up the phone, won't talk to me, or as soon as they hear from me, oh man, Terry must be coming at me to try to sell me insurance, and and so I was actually hurting my relationships, and and you know what? Yeah, recruiting sucked because I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know the tactics of doing so, and it becomes a headache versus if
Yeah,
you tell
it's hard when you
recruiting.
get in the cold market when you don't know those people. When
Right.
we first got started in the industry, we had no idea how to approach people because nobody told us. And when people just keep getting rejected because they don't look at the money as in the money because they're trained properly how to approach people.
Right.
That's why we can never recruit top earners because they already know the right way to approach people. So
Well, you can't recruit top earners, and I know in my past there's been groups teams that I've grown that if it wasn't for me recruiting a top earner, I wouldn't have grown such a great team. But I think that it's all in exactly what you just said, and that's just how you approach people. When it comes to a top earner, usually they just want to know, does it make sense? Can I make it work for me? Can I bring my team over? And is it something that I'm not going to trap my team in that's going to hurt them? That type of thing. And usually, if you build a good relationship and a real relationship with someone who is a top earner, if they're free, you probably can get them to join your team if it makes sense. I mean, they're probably a lot easier to work with than a lot of skeptics out there.
yes. A lot of people they prefer to the work smart and not hard. That's why some people they prefer to do solo ads and email marketing, so it's less interaction that they have to do on Facebook. I don't know what the rule is as far as how many people you have to talk a day in order to get the right prospect to connect with you. But some people say you need to talk with 10, 20 people every hour or something like that.
Can I interject here on that?
Yeah.
Because it was something that I've learned from some other people that I've been talking to, and they were telling me about, on average, if you're doing your home-based business or your network marketing business full time, you should be talking to 30 people every day.
Yeah.
If you're doing it part-time, you should be talking to at least 10 people a day. And when I'm saying talking to people, I don't mean talking to people like you and I are talking right now. I'm saying message 30 people. You can message 30 people with a message and a link to a capture page or a sizzle video or whatever. You can do that in 15 minutes. You can connect with 30 people in 15 minutes by doing it that way.
Yeah, I've said for months and months, talk, keep your numbers up and message at least 20 to 30 people every day. And if you do that, you will have, a good amount of people engaging with you on a daily basis. That's exactly what I do right now. That's the reason why, you won't see me posting a lot on my Facebook wall or even in a whole, or dealing with a lot, or chatting a lot, unless I just have a good moment. but that's because I'm always talking to new people, and and when you start doing that, then you have more engagement, and then your chances of actually building your team is increases. You'll start averaging one, two, three people a week, and then you start building momentum and it increases from there.
Right, and also I want to add in that, like if you have a scripted message, I mean, you can create your own scripted message and add a sizzle video to it or a captured page link to it, and you send those out to people, and then you wait for people to respond. And I always say at the end of it, you know, if this is something that has interest you, then connect with me and we'll go to the next step or let's chat. If not, then stay awesome. You know, it gives them the option of saying, okay, I might be interested in this. Let me take a look at it. And if they're really not interested, then they'll come back and say, no, I'm not really interested. And then that's cool. And then you just tell them, okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Um, Stay awesome. You're staying
Yeah.
positive with them. And also, you know,
Positively.
and also, let me just add this. As you're doing that type of thing, you're sending out these messages to people. And if you're new in the business and you're not feeling real comfortable about talking with these people, my biggest suggestion to you is get those people, get their Skype information, get their phone number, and get them to your upline, up to your sponsor or your mentor or whoever, and let them talk to the people. Let them get them signed up into the business for you. You just sit and listen. Listen to what your sponsor or your mentor is saying to these people, and then you take notes as they're talking so that as you go along and you get more comfortable with hearing what they're saying, you can say the same thing to the people eventually on your own, and you'll be able to sponsor these people and talk to them and get them signed up into your business yourself.
Mhm.
And then you go on to your team, the people that you've signed up underneath you, you go to your team and you do the same thing for them. You teach them to send out a message, have them, get the information and have them come to you and let you talk to their people for them and let them get the people signed up.
Right on. Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly
I
what you
want,
need to do.
I want, one to add on to that though. The things that Deborah was talking about, and I agree to that. Like on my first company when I was with, I used to talk the old school way. Like after they see the information, I used to ask them what do you like best about it, and they said like so and so so. And I told them I agree. I felt it felt the same way too. And I usually like hit my sponsor and text me. They say, "Hey, like Marco, are you real for a three-way call?"
Yeah.
And he texts back and say, "Yeah, sure." And he says, "Sure," and that's why I give him on the three-way call. And I said, let me introduce you to one of our top leaders, our top executives, or something like that. And then I get him on the phone, and it says, "Hello, hey, what's up, Chardell?" I said, "Hey, Mr. Ricky, you have a minute?" He said, "Sure. What's going on?" I said, "I have a gentleman named John is this about to call, but he has some questions. One of you answer some of his questions." He said, "Yeah, sure." and I come on the three-way. I said, John, this is a one-hour top executive that's on Mr. Marco Ricci, and I let Marco take over the conversation from there, and I
Yeah.
mute myself, and I just pause and just listen and learn,
Yeah.
and take notes, and do
Yeah.
that's like the
That's
old
why
school way.
having like support is really important all the time because not anybody can figure out on their own. Everybody's going to be new to what they're doing, and it's important to take notes and see, how people react to certain questions, and see that that you can get them
Right.
interested in what you're telling them.
Yeah, like
Find out
the very first company I was ever in, we had scripts for everything from the beginning of the call all the way to, you know, doing a three-way to closing. It was awesome. So, if you don't have that, then yeah, you need to listen to your sponsor as they're talking to these people and write it down. Because sometimes your sponsor may not be available, or somebody next to them. You know what I mean? So you have to be prepared at all times. So definitely write down what these people are doing and saying, because there may be a time where you're going to have to do it all by yourself.
Yes, and everybody's got their own, business. They want to spend time with their own people, so it's important that people spend time and learn what they're taught, because obviously nobody wants to babysit, just at work too. They give you an assignment, they expect you to pick up on things so you can learn the next associate that's going to come in on your same shift. So it's really about studying, practicing, and over time you will get better at it. So
And if you aren't sure, be honest. Be like, you know what, I'm not 100% sure about that. Let me get back to you. I mean, that's just the only way. Don't lie. Don't make something up, because then that's just going to make you look stupid.
Yeah, definitely. It's important that the tone of voice, taking your time when you're speaking to the person, you're not rushing into him. Try to find out if he's having a good day or a bad day. That's what some of the people are taught. Learning from experience, where people are coming from, and to find out if they had a bad day or not. Maybe you cut them at the wrong time. Get in touch with them. Another time would be better. So it's important that people find out some of these things, before they start a conversation with people. Let's find out what their mood is, and see what you can do to answer their questions. Know your facts is important.
I think, getting back to what Rachel was saying a few minutes ago about, maybe sometimes your sponsor doesn't have time, is not available, or is busy and can't necessarily help you. My suggestion to get around that is connect with your sponsor or your mentor and make an appointment with them. Say, hey, Terry, for example, are you available 1 o'clock tomorrow?
Yeah, and don't charge us.
just it's kind of respectful to everybody. It's respectful to your sponsor or your mentor, because they're busy too. They're trying to work their business. So you getting a hold of them at the last minute to say, hey, can you talk to this person for me right now? It's a lot better for everybody concerned, the person that you're trying to get signed up into your business, or you, and for your sponsor. If maybe you can set up an appointment. Tell the person tomorrow 1 o'clock in the afternoon is good to get together and talk. Is that a good time for you? And if it isn't, then go back to your sponsor and say 2 o'clock would be better. Is that okay with you? So a little communication, a little head start planning there is sometimes better. And if people are really interested in signing up in your business, they're going to be agreeable to saying, okay, yeah, 1 o'clock tomorrow is good for me. You're not going to lose them, because if they're really interested, they're going to agree to 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, around that, it's important that they contact you in the time that you're free. Everybody's busy, of course. always important to take notes, to find out what questions that you could not answer, and so you can get in touch with the person that as your sponsor, or get in touch with an affiliate that's in your company that they may be able to assist you as well. So it's like, again, that's why it's important for us to always connect with people all the time, whether they're in our organization or not, because everybody's always in the business to help each other out. So that's what I like about network marketing. You always work in the same project with people.
Yeah, it's all about helping people.
Yes.
But you guys, I think we've been on here for almost an hour and a half.
Woo!
Believe it or not.
Good job.
I think that's almost a record for me.
Yeah, we should go more into like.
Hey, that's
But no, what I was going to say was I think we should do another
on a
one.
Guinness World Record.
I know we could go probably for like 10 hours. Or more. We'd probably go for a full 24, the way we roll. But
Ain't that the truth?
I still actually have to make kids dinner.
Somebody's hungry, yeah.
No
I'm
problem.
getting hungry.
We all have things to do too.
Yeah. So I want to thank you all for coming. And what's that, Sean?
Yeah, send me the copy of this afterwards.
Oh yeah, I will for sure. Thank you all for coming.
Or they get.
Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah, take a screenshot.
Thank you.
How do you take a screenshot?
You can do it through Jing. You can do it through Jing.com. You can download it that way, and then you can just basically you have to hold onto your mouse, drag it, and then whenever it stops, you would just basically click on save, and it will save wherever you basically want to capture it.
I think I have that right here.
Yeah, take a screenshot.
All right, everybody smile.
Yeah.
We have that.
Take a screenshot. And
I don't know, is it working?
Is it working?
I don't know. There's a little camera here on the left-hand side.
There's no anger issues there, though.
I don't know. I don't know if I did it right or not. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I found it. Okay. Everybody smile.
Before he got fired.
No.
Rachel, look at the camera.
Deuces. Peace out.
All right, you guys. We'll talk with you later.
The wrap.
And we'll set up another webinar to get together soon. Real soon.
My brother wrote this review on my
Yeah,
book,
most
and I'd
definitely.
like him fired.
Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah, we should set it up.
Really?
All right.
Okay.
Okay, now I gotta figure out what you think.
Why would I call you and have to check the account?
Okay. Everyone have a good night, and we'll talk with you later. And whoever's watching, thank you for coming, and we'll see you later.
All right, thanks, Rachel. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
All right, let's do it again.
Thank you.